Nothing of any value in life has been achieved while standing up. So I've got 10 games for you this Christmas that you can play without leaving the couch as you slip in and out of a food coma.
I ate too much.
Do you want a mince pie, darling?
Yes, please.
There are links to all the games mentioned in the description below. This video was funded by fans. Pledge at patreon.com/actuallol. I'm giving away 8 of the games in this video to one lucky winner. Keep watching to find out how to enter. At Christmas, every family's got a Tyrion Lannister.
I drink and I know things. It's what I do.
Satisfy their desire to look smart and your desire for them to get their comeuppance by playing a trivia game. In Colour Brain, the answer to every question is a colour.
What are the colours of the Olympic rings?
To answer, you have a hand of colour cards to pick from. And because there's only 11 colours, it means you've always got a chance of getting it right, even if you have no idea. Colour Brain taps into that classic pub quiz feeling of,
oh, I know this one. What is it?
You've seen the Streets on a Monopoly board and the Google logo hundreds of times, but can you rack your brain hard enough to remember? The questions never seem impossible, even for an idiot like you. Your team scores points for how many other teams got the answer wrong, which is a nice reward for being the only genius that knows something. At Christmas, with a million distractions, you need games that you can jump straight into. Colour Brain is good old-fashioned trivia, no explanation required. And if you want more sofa-friendly trivia fun, there's Mr. Lister's Quiz Shootout, which is basically a game of listing things.
The 10 biggest cats on Earth. List them. Lion.
Garfield.
In Mafia De Cuba, you have to decide, do you want to be a loyal henchman, or do you want to betray the Godfather and steal some diamonds? The cigar box gets passed around the circle and you secretly take something out. When it gets back to the Godfather, they must quiz the other players on how many diamonds they saw in the box, trying to catch people lying.
There was only 9 diamonds in the box when I had it.
Okay. Timmy, how many diamonds did you see in the box?
I didn't see any diamonds. I did see these plastic gems that I took some of.
For the good guys to win, the Godfather must correctly identify the thieves. It's great fun trying to convince them that you can be trusted, whether you're good or bad.
Mum, you've got to stop trusting Barry. He's a thieving, lying scumbag. But Barry's not in this game. What game?
Pictionary, Trivial Pursuit and Scattergories are all party games that we can happily leave back in the 80s. But one of their brethren has stood the test of time, and that's Balderdash. You have to come up with a fake definition for an obscure word.
Cockalorum.
Getting everyone to think that yours is the real answer, whilst you guess the real answer. And in the new version of Balderdash, you get to write fake acronyms and laws.
Okay, in Sarasota, Florida, it's against the law to sing with your mouth open, in a bathing suit, the French national anthem, or any song by that bloody Simply Red. Yes, very good, Barry. It should be illegal.
It's as much about tricking your friends into picking the wrong answers as it is about making everyone laugh. And the real answers are always stupid, so it's great fun being as weird and wonderful as possible. And Balderdash has inspired many more great games. If you can get your hands on Wise or Otherwise or Famous Last Lines, you'll have even more fun finishing philosophical sayings and writing the last lines to famous movies. Have you ever wanted to be on a TV game show, but the only thing holding you back is your crippling laziness?
I'd win if I went on Pointless. Well, why don't you enter? We could use the money. Nah, the traffic in London and the liberal media.
If you're tired of always playing games host, then Jackbox Party Pack are a selection of party video games that do all the work for you. In Drawful, everyone is told to draw something different. Then it shows you one of the drawings and you have to come up with a fake name for it. Then you all guess on the real name and you get points if people guess you're fake. There's no shuffling cards or taking in bits of paper because everyone plays the game on their smartphone, which means you can just sit back and watch the show whilst the game works out who's winning for you. If you often struggle to convince family members to play board games, Jackbox is a good first step.
Daddy, will you play a game with us?
Does it require me to move any of my limbs from their current position?
No.
I can't wait.
There's Fibbage, which has you filling in the blanks, and Quiplash, which has you writing and voting on punchlines. Jackbox games are all about making your friends and family laugh with your answers, and it leaves us in tears of laughter. The original Christmas party game is the hat game or celebrity, where you all write famous names on strips of paper, throw them in a hat, and then you have a minute to get your team to guess as many names as possible. But what always happens is that no one can think of any names, so you scan the room looking for inspiration, and everyone writes down Jamie Oliver. Then you spend Christmas doing mimes of having a tongue too big for your mouth. Don't get me wrong, that's brilliant, but it gets old after a few years. Us lazy couch gamers don't have time for prep. Monikers takes out all the faff by filling the hat for you with cards. How on earth do you get your teammates to guess the fish that eat your foot skin as a pedicure as quickly as possible?
Remember Sally that used to cut my hair, and she had that sister Deborah who we bumped into at Waitrose one time. She was buying 4 cauliflowers. Well, she did what's on the card.
Sandra, I have no idea who any of these people are.
Yes, you do. Sally was the one that always wore that purple raincoat, even when it wasn't raining. And her dad was in the army, and they used to live together out on the London Road in that bungalow.
Time's up.
Barry, you don't listen to a word I say.
The game gets even better and harder in round 2. All the same cards are used again, but this time you can only use one word to describe them. So you're relying on your teammates to remember the clues from the previous round.
Soul.
The fish that eat your foot skin as a pedicure.
In the third round, you can't use any words. You have to do a charade. And what's great about Monikers is the cards are way more interesting than a hat full of TV chefs, so you get to watch as your friend tries to mime the long piece from Tetris. Hive Mind is all about agreeing on things. What a perfect game to play with your family at Christmas.
What are 3 bad jobs for someone who is afraid of dogs?
You have to write 3 things that you think everyone else will write. Can you read your family's mind?
What would Timmy think?
Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer had a very shiny face.
You only score points if you get a match.
Okay, I had vet,
No.
No.
dog walker.
Oh, that's a good one.
Did you write it?
Oh no, I thought about it.
There's no right answer. You just have to match with one of your family. Your stupid, stupid family.
I've got librarian,
What? Why?
because Jackie hates dogs and she's a librarian. And cat.
I've got cat too.
That's not a job, it's an animal.
Yes, I suppose you're right. We still get the points though, don't we?
Yes.
Hive Mind is great at sparking conversation as you explain your answers and rant at each other for not thinking like you. And hey, if you always find yourself thinking outside the hive, maybe you're not related after all. In Scrawl, everyone is given a different phrase to draw. For example, lost in IKEA. Then you pass your drawing to your left and they have to guess what the hell you were drawing.
Unhappy furniture man.
It passes again and the next person has to draw from their ridiculous interpretation. Your phrase will go on a wonderful journey of misunderstanding. The funniest part of this game is seeing the end result. It's Chinese Whispers, or Telephone, the drawing game. If you know Telestrations, this is the same game, but instead of prompting you to draw something easy and boring like tennis, you have to illustrate joyless sex.
Mum, that's just a drawing of Barry.
Yes.
Telestrations is my favourite game to play with family at Christmas, but with adults, Scrawl is even better. You'll slave over your drawing of meat sweats, then Dave writes beef shower, and Hannah pulls out this monstrosity. Honestly, you could not get the Nintendo Switch you wanted for Christmas, and Scrawl would still put a smile on your face this year. Crosstalk is a game of cryptic communication. You're trying to give info to your team without helping your rivals. Both teams are trying to guess the same thing, for example, needle in a haystack. The twist is, when you give a clue, it's public, and the other team's turn to guess.
The clue is farmyard.
Chicken run.
Then the other team's clue giver will give a clue, and it's your teammate's turn to guess. You have to be cagey with your clues, because if you're too obvious, you'll hand victory to the other team.
Syringe.
Needle in a haystack.
Yes! Ugh.
That's where the secret word comes in. You give your team one clue that the other team don't know. It's the code they need to decipher the clues that you're saying out loud that make no sense to the other team. I love the challenge of Crosstalk. How can you give information to your team whilst the other team listen to everything you say? The more you play, the more clandestine and unintelligible your clues will become, as you're desperate not to give too much away.
Stark, dog, tears, child. Are you sure you're not just picking random words, Timmy?
I don't want to give it away, John.
And then suddenly, all these disparate words just click together in your mind.
The boy that cried wolf.
Yay! Best brothers ever.
I love playing board games, but sitting at a table is the standing up of sitting down. Thankfully, there's way more to couch gaming than just party games, as the final 2 games prove. I have dreams of going away at Christmas, staying in a cottage with it snowing outside and a fire blazing indoors as I cozy up on the sofa with my girlfriend. Of course, it wouldn't be one of my dreams without a board game, and Sherlock Holmes Consulting Detective is the only game that can complete that hygge idyll. You're in Victorian London, which everyone knows is the Christmassiest epoch. There's been an adorably quaint jewel robbery or throat slitting, and you've got to work together to solve it.
Let's go to the jeweller's to interrogate the owner.
The proprietor of Radford Jones & Co. is caught between a natural reticence to talk about his client's financial affairs in general.
It's like reading from a Sherlock Holmes novel as you meet with witnesses. Your job is to make notes and piece them together to solve the crime. Not by rolling dice or playing cards, but using your own powers of deduction. It's like Jonathan Creek or Hercule Poirot or some reference Americans will get have invited you to do their big final reveal.
He let everyone think that his arm was broken, when in fact it was his twin brother Archibald that fell off the horse.
There won't be many horses where he's going. Jail.
It works on the sofa because it's essentially just reading books. That's what sofas were invented for. Before that, people just lay on the floor waiting for dinner. You'll pore over the day's newspapers, verify alibis with the map, and go back over your clues until finally something clicks, and it's a feeling better than Christmas itself.
We did it.
Jonathan, wake up. It's the Call the Midwife Christmas special. I wonder what heartbreaking pregnancy complications will happen this year.
Kokoro, Avenue of the Kodama, is the best board game in the world that you can play lying on your back. For extra laziness, recruit a minion as a bingo caller.
I like minions.
They flip a card that tells everyone what shape of road to draw on their map. But where do you draw it?
3. Up and right turn.
You're trying to create a path of caterpillars and flowers that connects to the current sanctuary. Everyone is playing at the same time and using the same roads. It's how you use them that decides who will win the game. The paths won't come out when you need them, so do you fudge something together quickly, or do you hold out for paving perfection, risking going bust that round? I love the shared frustration that Kokoro creates.
3.
No! Oh, for God's sake, Timmy.
Timmy, if you turn over one more 3, you're going to bed with no supper.
Kokoro isn't just a great sofa game, it's a great game. Every card flip brings elation or frustration. It's quick, it's devilishly simple, and it's great with any number of players. There's a hell of a game packed in this little box. And remember, just because you're feeling lazy doesn't mean you're not feeling competitive.
Look, John, I made a face. Did I win?
But no, I won with 140 points.
Oh. Happy Christmas.
I'm giving away these 8 games to one lucky winner. To enter, you have to go to the Actual Lol Facebook page and share this video with your Facebook friends. There are links to where you can buy all the games mentioned in the description below. If you'd like to support more videos like this, go to patreon.com/actuallol. Christmas is a great time to play games. I hope you get a chance to switch off from the world, hole up on the sofa and have some fun. I can't wait to do it myself. Happy Christmas, everyone.